Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Damon yet again with another rebooking scenario. And again, shout out to Chris Ludicki. Shout out to the Saw Monster. Shout out to Deadlock Pro Wrestling. Shout out to Wrestling Soup. And as always, a Laughs fan. I'm only doing the shout out for wrestling related things in this. If for entertainment ones, I'll do it on entertainment videos. But now, we're hitting the 4-0 in terms of rebooking WrestleMania. It feels weird. I never thought I'd get that close that fast, but it's like the creative juices were keeping on keeping on coming. And I want to make sense, which will lead up to another idea I got for rebookings. Because it's not just going to be WrestleMania, wink, wink. And you'll have to let me know that. But if I were to do it, I want it to make sense. Not a rebooking scenario in which completely contradicts what I'm doing. I want it to be in line of. So, WrestleMania 40 to me is the last great WrestleManias. Last great WrestleMania, sorry. That doesn't mean that 41 stunk. Actually, there's a lot of things that stunk about that WrestleMania, but I didn't think it was one of the worst. I just thought it was one of the WrestleManias. Like, it's just like, eh. WrestleMania 42 was more than eh, it was like, neat. It's like, and neat. But I didn't get that feeling of wrestling WrestleManias like I did with WrestleMania 40. And I would start off by giving you the Hall of Fame class. I remember telling you guys I think a WrestleMania Hall of Fame class should not just be just about anything. There's two requirements for the headliner. A, main event in a wrestling match at a WrestleMania. Or B, WWE champion. Or better yet, C, both of the above. I felt like Paul Heyman being the headliner was edge scratching. Why? For many reasons. I know it's in Philadelphia. I get it. I wouldn't change the location either. But he should have been like very close to the top, but not the top. To me, first and foremost, you're in Philly. Heyman's been inducted. Heyman profited a lot of things and was maybe a good booker, but was not a good financial guy. And this is where I say, you know what? Why not have ECW names get inducted in the Hall of Fame? I put Bam Bam Bigelow in the past. That's basically inducted in my WrestleMania 29 because in New Jersey. Why not induct Tommy Dreamer, Shane Douglas, Sabu, and Raven at WrestleMania 40? And not for no reason either. Tommy Dreamer was through thick and thin through ECW from its beginning to its end. So yeah, he deserves a damn induction. I don't care if it's in TNA. I don't give a crap, especially knowing their partnership that started around that time. So why not? I know Raven wasn't exactly in great terms, but it's like, hey, Raven deserved it. Sure, sometimes it was annoying. Sometimes I felt it was pretentious, overrated. But he was responsible for a lot of great moments in ECW history. What about Sabu? What's not to like about Sabu? He was basically the original daredevil of wrestling. And Shane Douglas, the franchise, helped put it on the map. He put ECW on the map, and Vince McMahon was no longer there. I don't care if the click's there. I mean, if Triple H and Shawn grew up, it's like let Shane be in the Hall of Fame. Shane, like I used to think that like Shane Douglas in WWE didn't feel as motivated. That's true. That's something that didn't change, in my opinion. I mean, the Viagra and a pole match is unintentionally hilarious. But Shane Douglas, motivated in ECW or WWE in the 90s, like, he was very good. And his promos were very intellectual. I come to respect also through videos of his, the man behind this, like education, also his views on many subjects. I'm kind of I'm gonna not worried, but I'm kind of interested about his views on movies. I want to know what's his favorite movies, just so like the Dark Knight trilogy, or the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batmans, things like that. I hope he doesn't say that comic book movies are childish. I rather not have it. But yeah, but I came to enjoy the guy. This or basically his other views, not just on wrestling, basically, but it's in-ring psychology, how to pace a match, I come to respect that more. So for all people who say, "Oh, breaking kayfabe was the worst thing that happened," sometimes, or maybe keep the kayfabe when it's basically you're active. When you're not active, it's okay. You don't need to. I mean, it's like keeping characters for a TV series when the TV series is done. It's like, what's the point? We know you're an actor. We know you're not basically set superhero. No. But not going to tangents because this is going to take too much time. And I know I have a bad habit of doing this. So yeah, I would have those four guys from ECW being inducted, along with Paul Heyman. I would have Bull Nakano. Man, she was badass. Man, I remember she nearly stole the show. Her and Alba Blaze nearly stole SummerSlam '94 in a show that had, I don't know, Razor versus Diesel and Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, and nobody wants to talk that. Nobody wants to talk about nearly stole the show. SummerSlam '94 had three great matches of that show. Three. And Luger still think it was okay too. Like Ed Trickers, the Batman IRS could have been something for was actually for the woman for the world tag titles. If the click didn't decide, hey, you know what? You could win it 2 weeks later. No, let's win it the night before, which is stupid. It just so happens to be that the worst match of that night was the actual main event. And maybe it was Jeff Jarrett. Rap music, his country music made no sense. And it's only 7 matches. You could have Adam Bomb on the card, which was Bush. You could have Lex Luger. Anyway, Bull Nakano kicked ass. A great moveset. Her top rope leg drop seemed to hurt. And yeah, I feel like she deserved entirely this. The US Express, it was about time that Mike Rotundo, aka IRS, was in the Hall of Fame. And if you're not going to put him as IRS, you should basically have as the US Express, but still make allusion to IRS. So why not? Thunderbolt Patterson. But here's the thing I would have added. It's 15 years later since WrestleMania 15, and it was in Philadelphia. It's 25 years, sorry, since WrestleMania 15. Why not have the Austin Rock trilogy be inducted in the Hall of Fame? The whole bunch of matches. Why? Because it would induct somebody else as the WB, the headliner of the class of 2024, and that would be The Rock. The Rock will be the headliner that year. Why not? He's there. He's there, and you'd be the only inductee to be inducted twice in the same year. How about that? You get a record right there. And that'll be very important for that night's event. Now, again, I start WrestleMania because I think a Wrestle under Giant Battle Royal, honestly, deserves better than just to be on SmackDown before the WrestleMania. It should be on WrestleMania and it should be the opening match. This time, since it's 40, it should be a 40-man battle royal under Giant Battle Royal, and Sami Zayn will be such an basically in flux. He doesn't know where he's going to go into WrestleMania. It was basically a desperate phase, but unlike this year, he wasn't doing it in a whiny way. He would basically do it in a, you know, courageous, uh, courageous babyface way. He would enter the battle royal and he would win it. So guaranteeing himself a IC or US title match. And he would decide, I would carry this momentum for the IC title. Gunter, as his long reign, is that basically is as his claw on a firm grip on the ice title. He doesn't want to let go. So I'm going to challenge Gunter. Then you have the World Women's title match. And I know it was Rhea Ripley defending against Becky Lynch, the winner of the Elimination Chamber match. But knowing that she was kind of sick that day, I thought you could add 2 more people. Even if it's last minute, I would have Liv Morgan just not last minute, but basically the Raw before WrestleMania say, hey, I was the last person in the Elimination Chamber at the Rumble, and she would maneuver her way to maybe being Becky Lynch in that match to earn her spot in the WrestleMania main event. And you could have Natalia for some reason. And my opinion is Liv Morgan would not be pinned in that match. Rhea Ripley would retain the title, but she would not be pinned. I was thinking maybe because Rhea had to relinquish the title, but that was a freak accident afterwards. But it doesn't matter. Liv Morgan, basically Liv Morgan. You could have basically Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan team up, take out Natalia. Then afterwards, Becky Lynch a manhandle slam on Liv Morgan, and the same ending you could have from Rhea Ripley to Becky Lynch. Like I love that ending. I love that it wasn't top rope ending. It was like she did one or pump handle slam on Becky's back on the turnbuckle, and then delivers the other one. That was badass, and I love that ending. Keep the same way. Then the tag title matches that was for both unified titles basically was a tag ladder match, and it would be kind of a similar thing. The only thing would change is rather than DIY, I would have Imperium, but it doesn't change my resultant match. I would have basically in this case, well, it kind of does, it kind of doesn't. I would have Miz and R-Truth win the Raw tag titles, and maybe SmackDown tag team titles. I would have the New Day win. Like Austin Waller, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller did nothing with title and nothing for me anyway. So why not? In the third match of the night, Rey Mysterio, Andrade, and Bad Bunny. That's why I didn't put Bad Bunny in action the year before, but this time they take on Santos Escobar, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. Same ending as in real life. So yeah. Then you have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso with Rikishi as the referee. And I'm really tempted having Jimmy Uso win due to Rikishi interference, but I would say Jey still managed to win. And Rikishi turns on his son after the match because despite Jey tries to shake the hand of Jimmy and having Jimmy fall him, but Jimmy at this point doesn't want to. And Jey tries to basically pushes Jimmy, and that leads to Rikishi delivers a trust kick. No, he doesn't deliver the stink face, but leaves with Jimmy for a reason. Then the fifth match of the night. The fifth? Sorry. Sixth match of the night. Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. Big man brawling out. And again, if you notice, Strowman's undefeated streak continues. Because Bronson Reed gets injured the next year. So if it hadn't been, I would have maybe Bronson could have won. But if Bronson's still injured, have Braun Strowman keep on his winning streak at WrestleMania. Right now, he won at 32, 33, 34, twice. He would win twice at WrestleMania 35. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 36 wins the Universal title. 37 he wins. He's not featured at WrestleMania 38. He wins at WrestleMania 39. He WrestleMania 40. I think he'd be 9-0 by then. You got another streak going. Congratulations. Then for the Intercontinental title match, Jeff Gunther was scheduled to face Chad Gable, won the gauntlet. Sami Zayn would have not have won. He would have won this battle royal. But Sami Zayn, due to his win, inserts himself in the IC title picture. So it's a three-way match. And you could have basically Chad Gable on his way to winning until, by mistake, Chad is hit by the hell of a kick by Sami Zayn, which sends Sami Zayn chest first in the guardrail. You know, like Bret Hart used that bump they used to do. And then Gunther toys with Sami Zayn until the brainbuster, like in real life, and then the hell of a kick twice. Except Ryder basically being covered, hell of a kick twice, then does a Blue Thunder bomb for the win, and to finally end Gunther's IC title reign. And it creates drama because Chad Gable isn't being a whiny heel. He kind of has a point. He was on his way to victory, or at least on his way to victory until Sami Zayn inadvertently hit him. Because that pack beforehand is okay, whoever takes the title, Gunther, but Gunther needs to lose that title. And he feels betrayed because it was his one shot as the IC title, and it kind of leads to Chad Gable's being justified as the heel turn. Just like 2 years later, Sami Zayn seems to be justified turning heel now. How about that? And the main event, like in real life, Rock and Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And like in real life, I would have Rock and Roman Reigns win for Bloodline rules. And that's very important. Night 2 of WrestleMania. You would have Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins, and I had Seth Rollins lose the title, but it wouldn't take four Claymore. It would take two. I thought it was hilarious. Like you couldn't book Seth Rollins more of a Superman there. Why? Because he lost twice. You couldn't just say, "Hey, you know what? I don't like to say, but like in AEW with Darby Allin, maybe it's like too many. He stretched himself way too thin. That's the reason why he lost. But he lost fair and square. And Drew would not be cashed in on that night. I'm sorry, I'm a Drew McIntyre, a big fan of Drew McIntyre, and I thought he could have let that moment breathe a little bit. Like have it happen on the Raw after WrestleMania. Like he just have it 24 hours. It's even worse in a way because it's like this one. He seems like he didn't get to rest. Whereas if you allow it to happen one day later or even a month later, it's like it's on him. But yeah, then you would have Karrion Kross as Bobby Lashley in an Extreme Rules match, in which case Bubba Ray is the referee. So yeah, I'll take you back to this. The tag title match, I said that basically two people that would be taken out just DIY. I forgot to say that the Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne would not be featured in the match. I would have been Street Profits. So yeah, Street Profits and Imperium will be a tag title match the day before. So that's why Karrion Kross is Bobby Lashley's a one-on-one match. Bubba Ray's a special guest referee, and I would have Bobby win. Karrion Kross would have won at WrestleMania 39 against his opponent, but in this at WrestleMania 40, he loses. In the third match of the night, you have Bianca Belair versus and Jade Cargill, Naomi versus Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Dakota Kai. You could still have basically in that case like Damage Control are the women's tag champions, and in this case again Bianca Belair's team wins. This case, Bianca gets her revenge on Asuka. So yeah. You would have AJ Styles against Kevin Owens. Heel AJ versus face Kevin Owens. And I'm not sure where I would have won because there's argument of having Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both winning their singles matches, but at the same time, if heel AJ Styles is going to challenge Kevin Owens, if heel AJ Styles is going to challenge Cody Rhodes for the WWE title, maybe AJ should have won. But it can go both ways. This part of me feels like let's have Kevin Owens win because you can basically do a rematch on SmackDown, in which case AJ wins, because Kevin Owens never really had a definitive win against AJ Styles, and let's rectify that here. Then in the sixth match of the night, Logan Paul defends the U.S. title against LA Knight, and I would have LA Knight, yeah, win the U.S. title here right in SummerSlam. Why not? Capitalize on momentum, baby. You won the SummerSlam 2023 Battle Royal there. And he did come off a couple of losses of the undisputed title. So why not have him win his title, another title, right away when he challenges? And I said that's WrestleMania 40. Then in the sixth match of the night, Solo Sikoa against Randy Orton. Solo Sikoa was not really being beaten there. I think LA Knight beat him there. But what if Randy Orton win that match? You know, he would have won that match very closely, and afterwards, Solo Sikoa, to regain the heat, delivers a someone spike several times to Randy Orton, taking him out of the night. And you could also explain why we'll be taking a brief absence before the King of the Ring tournament. Then the penultimate match, you have Io Sky defending the women's title against Bayley. Bayley wins. And the WWE title match, Bloodline Rules, is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And similar things would happen. At first, Jimmy tries like really to interfere, but Jay's there to nullify the interference and basically both of them take each other out. Then you would have Tamatonga and Togaloa all interfere, and I'm gonna have maybe somebody else too. And then you would hear the Extreme Championship Wrestling. Imagine this in Philly. Imagine the huge pop you'd get, man. And you have Tommy Dreamer, Rob Van Dam, Shane Douglas, and Sabu all running out, taking care of this. and perhaps also intimidate Amen, saying you still owe some money, man. It's like at the same time, like, and then it's like, okay, I would basically they would take out Tamatanga, maybe JC Mateo and Tagaloa, and the way you get them card off ECW to show how extreme they are, they get arrested. They get arrested basically before the league. So basically, you establish a man. They're still rebels after all these years. Like you can have the Sandman there if you don't want to. Because I say Raven should be inducted, but shouldn't do some physical activity there. But we have Tommy, RVD, Shane Douglas, maybe Sandman, and Sabu. And yeah, take out basically everybody was like right now in the MFTs. So yeah, that would happen. Then later on, Solo Sikoa tries to interfere. There's a Salmon Spike to Cody Rhodes and saying, oh no, not like last year. And John Cena comes in to take him out. So that'd be very important. Meanwhile, Cena's basically like, yeah, it's basically being a cheerleader outside. And again, you think something's gonna happen. Eamon tries to interfere, tries to choke basically Cody Rhodes with his you could have him either do a throwback of hitting Cody Rhodes' cell phone like he used to do, like at the Dangerous Alliance, or choke him with basically also choking him up with his suit jacket. Then you hear ting 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 ting. Yeah, that's right. Mick Foley comes in to interfere, delivers a mandible claw to pull him in, and takes him out. I don't want Foley to take many bumps. In fact, I don't want him to take him any bumps. He takes Mr. Shako, takes out Eamon, and basically throws him backstage. And Foley follows suit. So you think, okay, there's nobody in Roman's corner anymore. Cody, it's a crossroad. He's about to win when you hear the if you smell, and yet the final boss comes out, appears. He delivers a rock bottom to both Cody and John Cena. And this is where you hear Rakishi's basically you hear the I'm a bad man theme song. And yes, it's the eel version of Rakishi coming out there, clothed that is, but he comes out and he instantly deliver the bonsai drop with the rum shaker on Cody when you hear the dong, and it's the Undertaker. He's from behind, he comes out from behind, and he attacks Rakishi, takes him out, delivers a choke slam to him. So, but The Rock hides in the corner, does something, and you think, okay, Taker takes out Rikishi, but Rock's still here. What happens? Rock looks out, he's gonna go for another rock bottom. Then you hear the glass shatter, and Stone Cold comes in, and it's like after the ECW thing that basically people are like crazy. After Foley, after Taker, and now Austin. It's like this is where it goes pandemonium, and it's like all bets are off, and Austin pummels Rock, delivers the Stone Cold Stunner, and you need one last great Rock sell the Stunner. Austin goes to ringside. Then you have Cody delivers trifecta crossroads 1, 2, 3. Cody wins the title, but would have made it even better. I think that would have made it even better because it's like history of WWE. Basically, the history. It makes sense that Austin's there because their trilogy started at WrestleMania 15, and it's inducted in the Hall of Fame that year. It makes sense for the Undertaker come out because it's Rikishi that have an history with Rikishi and Taker. And it's also Taker's the concept of the WWE. It makes sense for ECW because ECW comes to a company that was founded and basically based mostly in Philadelphia. And Jimmy J, they wrestled the same night there. So every person that interfered had made sense. I wouldn't have gone like Sean to interfere because it made no sense. I would just want every interference had to make sense. And in a way, you induct the Austin Rock era, Austin Rock trilogy. It's like I feel like it's a way to give it homage and basically letting itself go. Because I can tell you about closure, and I think a lot of closure in terms of aspect of entertainment. I think a lot of times when people have nostalgia, not the only reason, but it's also because sometimes a throwback to years, maybe there was things were simpler, so we just say things in past media about it. But it's also the fact of Sometimes we never had a closure. We never had a definitive ending point. We see it with sitcoms. I mean, Married with Children never got a proper finale. Tim Burton and Michael Keaton never had a proper third entry in the Batman movies. I still maintain make it now, make it Batman Beyond one. Uh, like out of any shows that you know that could have gotten a great ending, Santa Clarita Diet could have gotten a great ending, a definitive ending. I mean, why not here? Like this, that'd be the ending of the official ending of Attitude Era, not just in passing, it just ends there. It's an ending, proper ending to ECW. It's a proper ending to this, but at the same time, it acknowledged to pass the torch toward the future. It's like we had a great time. We all, as Casablanca would say, we always have Philadelphia. Well, I know it's Phil, we always have Paris, but to paraphrase this, we'll always have Philadelphia. We'll always have the Attitude Era, but it's over now. Let's move on. And that's how what I would have done it. WrestleMania 40 like this could have been a way to give a proper ending to those eras and move toward the future. So you don't ask for the Attitude Era later on. It's over. It's done. Nada. It's finished. Austin Rock saga is over. Don't ask for a fourth one. Don't ask for a match at WrestleMania 43 between the two. It's done. Don't ask for another Rock match unless it's against Roman, because apart from that, there's no reason for it. It's done. That's why he's the Hall of Fame. That's what I wanted to do with this. So, on that note, I want you to not just please subscribe. I really like to have more comments and have more likes because I know for the effort I do, I'm not trying to say I'm entitled to this. I'm not. But I think I would like more some comments. It'd be very, very pleasant if I had more comments. Please subscribe. Please like this. So, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.